Self-defense. When is it okay to defend yourself? What is it okay to do when defending yourself if you're going to claim self-defense when using any form of violence? So ever since that case happened down in Texas, which by the time you see this is probably still going on, maybe it's over, and everybody's talking about, is it okay to use self-defense? When is it okay? Or just saying, well, it's self-defense. A person can do whatever they want to do with self-defense. Let's talk about that and what is actually true when it comes to the legalities of self-defense. This is not really about that case, but it's for all of you out there, especially the men out there. We all have testosterone. We have egos. You have to be careful when you are defending yourself, quote unquote, what you can do and what you can't do, because you cannot do just anything that you want to do. Point number one, self-defense is not a simple question when we're dealing in the legal sense. Now, if it's just self-defense in the streets and the police and authorities never get involved, I guess you could do what you want to do. Maybe to an extent, because you can still deal with retribution from people who are not cops. But in the legal sense, you cannot just do whatever you want to do and say, well, I was just defending myself. Even if you were defending yourself, you cannot just do whatever you want. This moves us to point number two. There's this concept of proportionality. In other words, when you are defending yourself physically and using violence to do so, what you do to defend yourself needs to be compared to in proportion to what was being done to you. In other words, if someone's walking up to you and putting their hand on your shoulder and you don't want somebody to touch you, you can't pull out a gun and shoot them and say, well, hey, it was self-defense. They touched me first and technically that's battery and I didn't want them touching me, so I shot them. Hey, self-defense. Were you defending yourself? Technically, yes. But on the continuum of force, you did a little bit too much and you're probably going to end up in jail for having done what you did, even though you can claim you were defending yourself. You cannot defend yourself out of proportion to what you are defending yourself against. That is the way the law works in general. And of course, state by state, it is very different. And the last thing is anything that comes down to a legal situation, even if you think that you are right, even if you think you can justify yourself, even if you got your whole community and your block and your entire race or whatever behind you because of what you're claiming, even if you can go on the internet and everybody's supporting you and make a hashtag out of you and you get a whole bunch of Give, Send, Go donations because of the fact that people want to defend you, do you want to put your fate in the hands of a jury or in the hands of a judge or behind a defense attorney or whatever the prosecution is going to bring against you? Do you want the rest of your life to be determined by what those people decide, or would you rather decide it on your own with your own actions? That's just a question I'm going to let you sit with. You want to learn more about how to think more logically and put together your arguments and your thoughts in a coherent way that works for you to produce results, whether we're talking personal, business, or anything in between? Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game.